The recently released Netflix series, The Glory, has quickly risen to international fame, ranking third in global rankings within 3 days of its debut. The show has struck a chord with viewers who empathize with the protagonist's heartbreaking story of a life ruined by bullying. Meanwhile, a high-ranking official, Yong-sun Shin, who was recently appointed as head of the National Police Agency's National Investigation Center, has resigned amid a scandal involving his son's involvement in school violence. Today, we delve into the topic of school violence from various perspectives. School violence, defined as criminal acts committed against students, including assault, intimidation, bullying, sexual assault, and coercion, is a serious issue that can cause severe physical and psychological harm to victims. Even if the act occurred outside of the school, it is still considered school violence if the victim is a student, and it is handled importantly with a separate act established to prevent and countermeasure it. Although previously dismissed as a prank or immature behavior, school violence is now recognized as a serious crime due to media coverage. However, despite the increased awareness, school violence remains a persistent problem, and practical issues about how to punish perpetrators continue to arise. Punishment for school violence. There are 2 main ways to punish the perpetrator when school violence occurs: disciplining the perpetrator through the School Violence Countermeasures Review Committee, also known as a School Violence Committee, or applying juvenile or criminal law to punish the perpetrator. A School Violence Committee is an independent committee set up by the school to deliberate on the prevention and countermeasures of school violence. It is usually held within 2 weeks of receiving the school violence report. The overall process of the committee is similar to an actual trial or hearing. The teacher in charge of school violence reports the incident to the committee composed of lawyers and parents and interrogates the victim and the offender to decide on the action. In the case of school violence, the perpetrator's age plays a significant role in determining the consequences. If the person responsible for the violence is 14 years old or older, they may be subject to both the Juvenile Act and the Criminal Act, potentially facing protective detention or criminal punishment. Those aged between 10 and 14 will be tried in a juvenile court, where penalties such as lecture attendance orders, community service orders, or being sent to a juvenile reformatory are possible. The punishment will become more severe based on the severity of the violence and the extent of the damage caused. In severe cases, a criminal trial will take place, where the individual will go through the investigation, arrest, transfer, indictment, and trial process. It's essential to remember that school violence is a severe crime and that its perpetrators will be held accountable for their actions.